Yeah, about what happened with the video. The battery on my phone decided to run out when I was recording the PS3 games, so I have to pick up where I left off before it cut me off. Luckily, it didn't cut me off in the middle of a sentence like in The Sopranos, so that's good, I guess. Anyway, the last game I spoke about in the previous part was Aliens vs. Predator, so let's go and bring the pile back and pick up where we left off, shall we? With BioShock. I've played a little bit of this, but I had real trouble getting into it. Not sure why. Maybe I need to give it another go, because people say this game is brilliant. So maybe I'll pop it in pretty soon. Up next is Batman Arkham Asylum. Yeah, it's, again, apparently a really good game, but I've played it for a little bit and I couldn't really get into it. So yeah, same story as with BioShock, it's supposedly good, so who knows, maybe I'll put it in again soon. Destroy All Humans Path of the Furon. Yes, there are a lot of Destroy All Humans games. I think I have them all. So once again, you're in the 70s with that crazy alien killing people. And you're learning something from an ancient alien kung fu master. Oh yeah, that's probably that guy in the background there. And that sounds interesting, but I need to play through the other 3 games first, because I think that's the 4th one in the series. Up next, Castlevania Lords of Shadow. A hack and slash game, similar to God of War, I guess. So, based on my love for that genre, I should play this. But who knows? Lots of games, remember? And not so much time. Another hack and slash game, X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition. This is again a movie game that isn't really all that bad. I've played a little bit of this and it was actually pretty good. As far as movie games go, at least. This would be in the top 5 movie games I've ever played. Probably. Oh boy, more superhero movie games. Watchmen, The End Is Nigh, parts 1 and 2. This was like a PSN, an Xbox Live Arcade game that was released in 2 parts, and they combined them together and slapped them on a disc. Contains exclusive collectible art. Whoop-de-frickin-do. If you've seen Watchmen, I thought it was a brilliant movie. I haven't read the book that it's based on, but from what I've heard, the book is even better, so maybe I need to get my hands on that. The game isn't all that great from what I've heard, though. Shame. Oh boy, more superheroes with Batman Arkham City. And I think I also have like all the DLC expansions for this, even though I haven't even played it yet. So yeah, Arkham Asylum first, and then I'll get to that. The Devil May Cry HD Collection. DMC 1, 2, and 3. 1 is good, 2 apparently sucks, and 3 is apparently the best in the series. Also, they're kind of like, that franchise has a really messed up order. It's like, chronologically 3 is first, then 1, then 4, and then 2. So, should I play it in like order of release, or the chronological order? Not entirely sure about that. Heavenly Sword. You've seen this game on my channel, probably, for a little bit. I was LPing this like a year and a half ago or something, but that was around the time I bought my HD PVR, so I just cancelled this and decided to redo it at a later stage in HD. However, that hasn't happened as of yet. I really should play this game again, though. It was fun. Crazy characters and story. It was hilarious. I didn't really get very far in the LP, I think, and you didn't get to see the best parts yet. So stay tuned. Lost Planet 2. I have done Lost Planet 1 on my channel. Not many people watched it, but I thought the game was solid. So basically you're on this planet, you can drive giant robot battle suits and shoot giant creatures. It's a simple premise, but it's fun. Oh, a recent game. Tomb Raider. I didn't actually buy this. I got this with a magazine subscription to a gaming magazine. Figured, why not? It's apparently a pretty good game. It's got 44 E3 awards, including IGN's Game of Show 2012. So, who knows, I might pop this in, play it, but again, lots of games. Never Dead. This game is apparently not all that good, but I mainly picked it up because it has a really interesting premise to it. You see, you're playing as this undead guy who can pretty much get shot apart completely, and you can still play as him when he's in pieces. So, some puzzles in this game include having to rip off your own head, throw it in like a ventilation shaft, and roll it into the next room so it can unlock a door or something. If that's not hilarious, I don't know what is. Ooh, a game I've been dying to play. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I have no clue why I haven't popped this in yet. Hell, maybe I'll do that right after I'm done with this. Oh, here we go, a classic, Resistance: Fall of Man, one of the first PS3 exclusives that was actually good. It's an FPS with aliens and you shoot stuff, and it's the first in the franchise, but the franchise is all but dead these days from what I've heard. Shame. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, compilation of Lego Star Wars 1 and 2, with some additional levels, because they left out some parts of the movies in the original games for some reason. Like as the part you can see on the picture there, the spaceship assault at the end of episode 1. There was no level of that in Lego Star Wars. So yeah, play this. I get to see all the levels, probably the way the games were intended to be at first. Dead Space. Yeah, I'm not entirely keen on horror games, but ever since I played as Isaac in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, I've kind of wanted to get into the series. It's kind of a dilemma because I don't like horror games very much, so what do I do? Also, I probably wouldn't make a very good LP because then all you kids would get scared and unsubscribe and all the other stuff. Also a game I probably can't do on the channel, but for completely different reasons, Lollipop Chainsaw. Because that would instantly spur all the kids to go into puberty all of a sudden. Because a game where you play as a hot cheerleader killing zombies with a chainsaw is bound to get any guy's testosterone running. But it's a fairly decent game from the makers of No More Heroes as well, so if you like that, you're probably gonna like Lollipop Chainsaw. Up next is a game that I'm not entirely sure what it is. It's legendary. But from what I've heard, the review scores for this were far from legendary. So it's an FPS game, I believe, and you're shooting up mythological creatures in like a city. I'll read the premise to you. Deep within the dusty basement of a New York museum lies mythology's most infamous artifact, Pandora's Box. I thought Kratos opened that a while ago. When rogue art thief Charles Deckard is tasked with stealing the box, he accidentally opens it and releases mythological creatures we thought were fiction. Now giant griffins rule the skies. Ravenous werewolves stalk the streets, and Deckard is left branded with a signet. With a what? That is the secret to man's salvation. With the aid of a clandestine paramilitary force, he must fight to seal the door between reality and myth once more, or face the fall of civilization torn apart by the tooth and claw of legend. Sounds interesting enough, alright, but since when are werewolves Greek mythological creatures? I know griffins are, and I see a minotaur there on the screenshot. And anything else? Nope, it's a griffin thing, a minotaur, and a werewolf. Oh well. Maybe I'll pop that in, play it, see what it's like. It's probably not very good, though. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Let's see who's on the box art for this one. We have Iron Man, Venom, everyone's favorite character, Deadpool. Oh, I know that guy. He's from the X-Men with the playing cards and stuff, but I can't for the life of me remember his name. Wolverine, the Hulk with a really bad haircut, Captain America, and of course Spider-Man. Always the attention hog, hogging the majority of the box art. Why Spider-Man? It's like with the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe going on, you're not even their most important character anymore, I'd say. I'm not too fond of Spider-Man either. I much prefer Iron Man or... yeah, Iron Man is probably a lot more interesting than Spider-Man in my opinion. And Thor is also pretty cool as well. Up next we have Killzone 2. Yay, space Nazis. Also, national pride for me, because this game, and pretty much every Killzone game, is made in my country. So yay, Dutch pride. And it's a game about space Nazis. Kind of messed up. Next up we have Killzone 3. It's Killzone 3. What is there to say about it? And of course, also Killzone 1. Yes, they re-released this in HD. It was like a Killzone trilogy box, so I bought that because I didn't have any of the games yet. Looks interesting enough, though, the guys with the gas masks with the glowing red eyes. That's ominous. Then we have Resistance 2. So, let's see, what is this? This is... oh, that's one of the aliens. And that's a guy. Interesting box art. Humanity's in danger and no one can run away or something. It's... I've seen a little bit of in the Resistance level in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and that looked pretty awesome. I've also seen some footage of you battling a giant skyscraper-sized monster with a rocket launcher or something, and that is also pretty cool. So I kind of want to get into that franchise, but, of course, don't have much time. Resistance 3. Interesting box art, pretty different from Resistance 1 and 2. If you look closely there, you can see all sorts of landmarks. I'm pretty sure that's the Statue of Liberty. The thing in the middle, is that the Big Ben? Does this game take place in America and England? I don't know. Doesn't say on the back of the box. And I believe this is also one of the first games that had the whole online pass thing on the PlayStation. Which is their way of counteracting used game sales and stuff, so they can at least earn a little money from those. Red Faction Guerrilla. A game I've intended to LP for like 3 years. But I've never gotten around to it. It's fun, it's like GTA on Mars, and you can smash everything with your trusty sledgehammer. It's great fun. Pretty sure it's dirt cheap on PSN, like $5 or something, so go ahead and pick that up. Also the sequel, Red Faction Armageddon. Better known as the game that killed the series. Yes, Red Faction Guerrilla was an interesting open world game, and this is a freaking linear third-person shooter in a cave. It couldn't be more different from Red Faction Guerrilla. And I had such high hopes for this, and it was such a disappointment. No wonder THQ pulled the plug on the franchise, shortly before they went bankrupt themselves. Fallout New Vegas. This was a birthday gift from a friend, and I haven't actually played it yet. Also, it has a lot of DLC, and I'm not sure if any of that DLC is like worth the while. So yeah, need to get around to this one as well. I have way too many games that I need to get around to. And now I need to get the final pile over here. So, 1, 2, dive! I don't feel like getting up. Just lunge towards it and try and pull it in. Alright, starting off with Lego Harry Potter years 5 to 7. Yes, apparently they couldn't fit all of the Harry Potter years into one game, so they made 2 of them. I can kind of see the logic behind that. Next up we have Mass Effect. Yeah, I've already mentioned this in the 360 pile. I bought all games on 360 first because this one wasn't on PS3 yet, and then like 2 weeks later they announced the trilogy, so yeah, fuck me. Okay, then we also have Mass Effect 2. And this one says it includes 6 hours of bonus missions. I know the Mass Effect series has a lot of DLC, and I really don't know which ones are like essential or good, or if anyone can help me with that, anyone who's played the Mass Effect games, that'd be much appreciated. And of course Mass Effect 3. Reconquer the Earth, Earth is conquered or something. Apparently you didn't do a very good job in Mass Effect 1 and 2, so you have to clean it up in Mass Effect 3. Another number 3 is Assassin's Creed 3, the Special Edition, which contains a dangerous secret and 60 minutes of extra gameplay because it's on PS3. So, yeah, I could have bought this on Wii U as well, but again, PS3, 60 minutes of extra gameplay. Also trophies. Yes, I'm a major trophy whore. Not entirely sure why. I guess they do kind of give you a bigger incentive to replay games and perhaps do things that you wouldn't normally do. So I can kind of see the appeal in that. Up next we have The Darkness 2. It's like a really gritty first-person shooter. You're like some demon guy with a pair of pet snakes that eat your enemies' hearts or something. I don't have The Darkness 1 yet, so I need to track that one down and buy it and play it before I can do this one. Up next we have Lego Batman the video game. It's a Lego game, they're always fun. And this one isn't actually based on any sort of movie, so it's kind of like an original story. That's pretty awesome. What do we have next? We have Resident Evil 5, and I forgot to peel off the GameStop price tag. Bought this in America. It's Resident Evil 5. It's apparently not as good as Resident Evil 4, but it's much better than Resident Evil 6. I don't know what they did wrong, but apparently Resident Evil 6 is a piece of crap. What do we have next? Oh, another game from America, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. It's like a Spider-Man game with the Spider-Man we all know and love, and then 3 other Spider-Men who no one's ever heard of. Got this weird blue and red guy without eye holes. This guy who looks like he's wearing a leather bodysuit and some sort of goggles. And then that guy who just kind of looks like Spider-Man's black suit without the lines and stuff. You have Spider-Man 2099, explore a futuristic New York City. You have Ultimate Spider-Man, unleash the power of the black suit. Okay, so I was right about that. You have Spider-Man Noir, experience stealth-based gameplay. So it's like Spider-Man Metal Gear. And you have Amazing Spider-Man, battle with innovative web combat. Apparently this game is pretty good. So I would probably need to go ahead and pop that in my PS3 eventually. Oh, another bad superhero game. Iron Man 2. It's even worse than the first game apparently, so yeah, normally game developers learn from their mistakes when they make a sequel. With this one, they apparently made it even worse. I don't see how that's possible, but they never cease to amaze me, I guess. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Fun game. Yes, I do sort of agree that it's not as good as Smash Brothers, but it's really the next best thing. If you like the characters, then buy it and play it. If you don't know the characters, then I still suggest you should buy it and play it, because it could get you into a whole bunch of different games. Because I've actually bought several games that have characters in them that are playable in this game. For example, there's Sir Daniel Fortescue in this game. I had no clue who he was, never heard of him before. I liked him in this game, so I bought that PSP medieval game. I didn't really ever play any Twisted Metal games before, but I bought the latest Twisted Metal game because of Sweet Tooth in this game. So yeah, even if you don't know like Nathan Drake, you can still play as him and think, oh, this guy's a pretty cool guy, I'm gonna discover what games he's from, and then you play the Uncharted trilogy, and then you realize that all those games are completely amazing, and then you will thank this game forever. So yeah, buy this game if you haven't already. It's great. It's not as expensive anymore, I think, because it was kind of a box office flop, I guess. So yeah, and if you buy the PS3 version, you get a downloadable PS Vita version as well, if anyone even has a PS Vita. What a flop that is. Soul Calibur 5. With a guest character that's not as random as Yoda and Darth Vader. He actually kind of sort of fits in. The guy from Assassin's Creed. At least he sort of looks like he's from the 1500s. So yeah, good game. Great character customization as well. Story's a little lacking though. It's very clear that they just rushed this game onto the shelves, but it's still alright. Oh, another fun game, Dead Rising 2 off the record. Yup, nothing says fun like a game in which you can dress up in women's clothing and beat the hell out of zombies with a giant floppy purple dildo. Or am I thinking of Saints Row here? It's also possible. But still, it's another game I would highly advise to anyone. DMC Devil May Cry, the reboot that was kind of controversial because the main character looks nothing like he looks in the other games. And people are like, oh, this game sucks because Dante doesn't look like Dante anymore, but the gameplay is really damn good. Now, I'll admit I haven't played the other 4 Devil May Cry games, but if they're just as good as this one, then I'm going to like them. Apart from 2, which apparently sucks balls. We have the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, an epic collection of over 40 gaming classics, like Sonic the Hedgehog, Streets of Rage, Echo the Dolphin. The fuck? So yeah, there's Sonic, and there's like some game where you're beating up women. It's like a compilation of really old games, and it's alright if you haven't played any of those games, I guess, but none of them are really all that substantial. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I don't know why I bought this because I suck at it so very much. It's like Street Fighter and Tekken characters beating the hell out of each other. I've never played Street Fighter, I didn't like Tekken, so I don't know why I bought this, but still. I only paid like 20 bucks for it, so it's not that bad, I guess. Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. It's like the definitive version of Street Fighter 4 with all the DLC and all that stuff, so you don't have to pay out the ass to get everything. It's okay, I guess. I haven't played it yet. Street Fighter controls, from what I've heard, are complicated as all hell, so who knows if I ever will. And we have Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, one of the most disappointing sequels I've ever played. Force Unleashed 1 was pretty damn good. For some reason with this one, they just messed it up completely. You don't go to as many interesting locations as in The Force Unleashed 1. The gameplay just, it feels like they nerfed all of your force powers, and they kind of feel like they were like hyping, oh, Yoda's in this game and Boba Fett's in this game, but they're only in it for like 2 minutes. Most misleading advertisements ever. And here's The Force Unleashed 1. It's good. It had some glitches, but still. I was really impressed with like the physics engines in this game. You can pretty much smash everything in 100 different ways. Story was pretty interesting as well. I don't really see why they needed a sequel to this game, because the story was pretty self-contained in my opinion. I mean, at the end, the character you play as dies, which explains why he's not in episodes 4, 5, and 6. It kind of explains how the Rebel Alliance is formed, so I don't really see why they needed to expand on that. It's just, The Force Unleashed 2 was just one big mistake. I guess they figured, oh, Force Unleashed 1 sold a lot, I think it was the best-selling Star Wars game, so of course they had to make a sequel. And then mess it all up. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds. One of the few fighting games I am somewhat decent at. The controls for this are much simpler than Street Fighter, at least. Yeah, I remember how I bought this, and then like 2 months later they say, oh, there's gonna be an upgraded version for 40 bucks. So that game is absolutely useless these days. Lego Harry Potter Years 1 to 4. Come on, if I had the other one, I have to have this. Can't have the complete story without this. Look, there's the troll. I think I had that Lego set, actually, the one where Harry Potter fights the troll in the bathroom. That was pretty funny. What else do we have? We have Dante's Inferno. It's a good hack-and-slash game. It's really similar to God of War, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I kinda like this. I think I have that sitting on my hard drive right now ready to go, so who knows. could pop up at any moment. So if I finish an LP and at the end I tell you guys to go to hell, chances are that game is up next. I'm not saying you should actually need to go to hell, not all of you at least. There are some of you to which I would happily say go to hell, but those are usually the kind of people that end up getting the banhammer anyway. What do we have here? Okay, we have Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They re-released the game like 5 months after the original came out with like 12 new characters and recolored versions of all the stages, and then dare to charge $40 for it. Also, I think there's like a character behind that logo there. It's like blocking their face. Like in... Oh, there was the Monsters Inc. movie where that green guy was like so happy to be on TV, and then they put like an ad right in front of his face, and he was like completely silent, and the other guy's like, oh, he wants to comfort him, but he's like, I was on TV, I'm gonna call Grandma. I love that movie. I think there's like a sequel coming out this summer. I really need to go see that. But what character is that? Oh, I think that's that Darkstalkers, the girl with all the weapons, I think. So yeah, they have like all sorts of new characters like Rocket Raccoon, who's no one's ever heard of, but he's actually a pretty cool character. And Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Iron Fist, Hawkeye, Nova, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Wolverine, and then Ryu, Dante, Phoenix Wright in a fighting game. Yes, they actually did it, and he is pretty awful. Nemesis, Chun-Li, Frank West, Strider, Chris, Virgil, and that goblin thing from that really hard NES game. Up next, the game I'm currently doing, Asura's Wrath. Yes, I know I haven't uploaded an episode in like a month and a half, but that's probably going to change very soon. So stay tuned for the next episode. The God of War Collection Volume 2. I think this is called the Origins Collection in America, because it's kind of like the 2 games that focus more on Kratos' origin story. Yeah, they're HD ports of the PSP games, and they play much better on the PS3 than they do on the PSP. No, wait, no, not really. God of War pretty much only needs 1 control stick anyway, so I played Chains of Olympus on PSP actually, and it wasn't half bad. Just that the game is the worst in the franchise, but the controls themselves were fine. The Little Big Planet Game of the Year edition, I bought this because I wanted to make my own levels and stuff. I had no clue how complicated that actually was, so I lost interest fairly soon. But look, it's got Sackboy and his happy face. He's always happy, even when he's strapped to a rocket and shot into space. What do we have next? Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, the video game. Yes, Lego apparently makes video games of all the popular movie franchises. They've done Indiana Jones as well, I don't own that. They've done Lord of the Rings, I don't own that. Kind of expecting them to do like a Lego The Matrix or something. I think that could actually work. Maybe like a Lego Bourne Ultimatum or something. I think that's like a 4-movie franchise. Could probably do something with that, even though I haven't seen any of them, so I have no clue what I'm talking about. Ben 10 Omniverse, the game of the cartoon. It's... yeah, the game is alright if you're like a fan of the show, I guess. But it's also a very easy platinum trophy if you're into that sort of thing. You can like get the entire platinum trophy in a single playthrough. So that's nice if you're a trophy hunter. Rent that game or something. God of War 3 with the box art that looks nothing like the box arts of the other games. All the other ones usually have like Kratos standing in front of some sort of temple or city or whatever, and here's just a close-up of his eye. I think they could have done a lot better with the box art for this one, but the game is awesome, so I'll shut up about it. Mod Nation Racers, Little Big Planet meets Mario Kart, before they just decided to pretend this franchise never existed and make Little Big Planet karting. So you can make your own characters and race tracks, and I wanted to do that, but just like with Little Big Planet, I had no idea how complicated that actually is. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, great game. Done an LP on that. Uncharted 3 is probably coming this summer. So stay tuned for more epic Nathan Drake adventures. Then we have Mortal Kombat. Exclusive features, play as Kratos, only on PlayStation 3. Yeah, because he's never going to be on Xbox 360. And Xbox 360 has no suitable characters for a Mortal Kombat game. I mean, could you see Master Chief in this? I don't. Or a Gears of War guy? Not really. Kratos, however, fits pretty damn well. Infamous, one of my first PS3 games. I bought this along with my PS3 and Metal Gear Solid 4. And I've got a lot of time out of this one. Played it like 5 times. And for some reason I still don't have all the trophies. Need to get around to that. Fix that stuff. The God of War collection, God of War 1 and 2 in HD. Not really HD, I don't remember them looking a lot better than the PS2 versions, but still they're good games. The first one is... well, you can see that they've come a long way since the first one, but it's still playable. Up next is Bionic Commando. People say this game sucks. I say those people have no idea what they're talking about. Yes, the game's difficult, but difficult does not automatically equal bad. It takes a while to get used to all the swinging controls and stuff, but once you get a hang of it, it's a really damn fun game. Let's see, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games remaining. Just Cause 2, open world madness with a grappling hook and planes and cars and limitless action is completely right. You can parachute while dual wielding machine guns, and you can ride helicopters and hijack vehicles and all that stuff. And look, you have like box art that continues on both sides. Here you have the guy shooting his grappling hook, and it goes through here and attaches to the helicopter. That's nifty, I hadn't noticed that until now. Cool. Up next, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, the game that started the franchise that made Sony a lot of money. And it's, again, a really good game. If you don't have any of the Uncharted games yet, then play them. Nathan Drake implores you to. Also, he's voiced by Nolan North. Nolan North is one of the most awesome voice actors ever. He's like in everything. Soul Calibur 4, this time with Darth Vader. Except I haven't taken off the price tag for some reason. Yeah, this was in the Xbox pile as well. So there's really nothing else to say about that one. Then we have Prototype 2, the sequel to the pretty cool superhero game. You play as a different guy who sets out to kill Alex Mercer, the protagonist of the first one. Interesting premise, and also improved on the original in a lot of ways. Oh yeah, here we have the original. For some reason there's like a slight dent in that. I'm not sure how that happened. Well, it's not the first time my PS3 pile has fallen over, so maybe this case got sort of dented in the process. Oh well, I've just finished an LP on that, so go ahead and watch that if you haven't already. Lost Planet Extreme Condition. It's, I think I already talked about Lost Planet 2 earlier. But you're this guy, you're on a snow planet, and you need thermal energy to survive, which you get by killing giant alien bugs. Interesting premise. Execution is not all that bad either. Ben 10 Ultimate Alien Cosmic Destruction. I've done an LP of this, and this is kind of where they started to mess up the whole alien thing, where you don't have access to all 10 at once. And they also left out like all of the aliens that were in the previous game, despite this game reusing the same models for the aliens that are in this game. So it's just... they did a lot wrong with this game. And finally, the game that... I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with the box art here, but it looks like it's really poorly printed. It is the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Game of the Year Edition, and it looks like they printed it when the printer was really low on ink. Or something. I'm not sure if all Oblivion cases look like this or if it's just mine, but I don't think it looks right. And yeah, I probably never will play this game because I have Skyrim. And yeah, that game requires way too much time already. So this one is probably never going to see the light of day again. And there's a reason it was at the bottom of the pile. So yeah, that's... oh no wait, that's not all. That's only the physical copies. Because I also have my giant TV there that I need to turn on. Hit the controller, find the remote, on. Yes, it's turning on. Excellent. And what do we get? Ah, crap, Seinfeld. I hate Seinfeld. Why do people think that show is funny? It is so not funny, it's not even funny anymore. Why don't they like air more South Park or Family Guy or series that are actually funny? Okay, get my controller. It's nice and green, and for some reason it's black on the bottom. I feel cheated when after I bought this and saw that. I wanted a green controller, not one that's green and black. Oh, I've received a message. A friend request from some guy. J06 String Whiz 2. Don't know who the hell that is. Oh, he's already sent me a request earlier. Do you want to play Prototype multiplayer? Prototype doesn't have multiplayer, dude. Okay, so he's watching the collection videos. Okay, fine, I'll add him. But he'd better have PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Because I only add people that have that game. Yeah, my digital video game collection. I have a lot of them on this as well. Okay, this is the Metal Gear Solid 4 database. But we start out with Ratchet & Clank, Quest for Booty. Then we have Dead Nation, which is some sort of zombie shooting game that I got for free. Red Faction Battlegrounds, which doesn't have a nice loading in screen for some reason. Also, this background, it's the God of War Ascension dynamic theme that I got with the special edition. Infamous Festival of Blood, the infamous vampire spin-off, which is pretty fun. It's a short game, but it only costs like $10, so you can't really go wrong with it. And then we have all 4 chapters of the Jurassic Park game. It's pretty fun if you like the movies. Then I have the Penny Arcade Adventures episodes 1 and 2. And Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter, which is a real piece of crap. Final Fight Double Impact. Bionic Commando Rearmed and Bionic Commando Rearmed 2. And all 3 Sly Cooper games. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Borderlands, I got that through PlayStation Plus, which I would highly advise everyone to get because it's not a lot of money and you get a lot of free games from it. Dead Space 2, Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath HD, Saints Row 2, all of these are like through PlayStation Plus. Outland, don't know what that is. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, some sort of Tomb Raider game I'm guessing. Machinarium, looks strange, crazy robots. Tokyo Jungle, Starhawk, which also has a character in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Double Dragon Neon, Shadow of the Colossus, hell yeah. I'm not sure what this is. I downloaded it through PlayStation Plus and never really looked at it, but it's like some sort of skeletal rabbit. It looks pretty awesome. Then we have Bulletstorm and Okami and Crysis 2, Ratchet & Clank All for One, Sleeping Dogs, Limbo, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Darksiders 2, Twisted Metal, and The Walking Dead. And SingStar, but that's on everyone's PS3 for some reason, and I can't get it off, and I hate SingStar and I will never play it. Just look at those two. With their hipster sunglasses and all that shit. No one looks like that when they're playing SingStar. At least I hope not. Yeah, so that's all there is to it. Turn that off. And then I will thank you for your time, for watching me brag about my awesome collection of video games. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later with more LP videos. So yeah, bye bye.